Today is World Tetris Day, something I'm so excited about. So we invited the visionary entrepreneur and gaming industry pioneer renowned for bringing Tetris to the global market and transforming it into one of the best-selling and most influential video game brands in history. Not only is he the founder of the Tetris company, he now has a new book called The Perfect Game, Tetris from Russia with Love. The man who's the reason I was addicted to my Game Boy, Henk Rogers, is here. Welcome to California Live.
Hi.
Okay, before we get into your book, let's talk about how you discovered Tetris and how you decided to travel all the way to Moscow to learn more about this game.
Consumer Electronics Show, 1988, January. I was looking for games to bring to Japan for my publishing company in Japan, and I found Tetris. And how did I know Tetris was something? I was standing in line for the fourth time trying to play this game. I said, there's something special about this game. A year later, well, it's almost a year later, Game Boy had come out in Japan, and I knew Tetris was the perfect game for Game Boy. Nobody had the rights, so I decided to get on a plane and go to the Soviet Union and get the Game Boy rights.
And what a whirlwind it has been, because there's been a movie that's been based on this. Apple TV did Tetris in 2023, did a whole story on your life. What was that like?
It was very interesting. You know, I read the script and I worked on the script, and you know, there was so much Hollywood in there that that was a little terrifying. And so I didn't have much hope for the movie. But then when the movie came out, oh my gosh, it was so amazing. And I cried about things in the movie that never happened in real life.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so it was like, whoa, they really turned it into a movie.
That's insane. Were you always interested in games and numbers and things like this, or was this something that had just kind of...
No, I was always, you know, since I was a kid, I was, you know, always interested in games. And, you know, that when I went to college, I majored in computer science and I minored in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And then 6 years later, I was in Japan. I've been living in Japan, and personal computers came out, and I decided to write a game, create a game. So I created the first role-playing game in Japan, ended up with a publishing company, and then started looking for games to publish in Japan, and Tetris was one of those games.
Wow, that's so wild, because right now my 9-year-old's playing video games, and I'm like, get off the video games, get off the video games, but it's safe to say that he can stay on the video games. You will.
Yeah, anything within reason. You know, like watching TV.
That's true.
Too much is no good. Doing anything too much is no good.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, let's talk about your memoir, The Perfect Game. Tell us about it.
So I wanted to set the record straight about the movie, because I'd read the script, so I started writing. And yeah, when I finished writing about the movie part, it turned out not to be big enough for a book, so I wrote the before and after. So it turned into my entire game career. Okay. It's certainly not a memoir yet, because I still have a lot after this. Maybe it's going to be a two-part. You know,
well, there's so much to learn. I mean, from the founder, to the creator who was Russian, to you founding this and really bringing it to the masses and bringing it to the world. So this is so fun. The annual Classic Tetris World Championships. I didn't even know this existed. It is happening this weekend in Pasadena. What's going on there?
It's so weird that a game that was published 30 years ago should be having championships now.
I want to know how people, like, I feel like I have a chance at this. I feel like I'm actually pretty good at Tetris. Like, what do you need to do to get in there?
You need to go and have a look to see whether you think you even have a chance.
And then I get there and I'm like,
the goofy thing is they've learned how to play it in a different way. You know, the buttons, they hold the controller this way and they tap on the back.
Oh, no.
And that enables them to push the button quicker than it's physically possible to push it normally.
No, I can't do that then.
And so
I need a good old,
and they're wearing gloves.
I need this.
It's just insane.
I need a good old Game Boy with the actual Tetris.
Oh,
I still have this and I still play it. Really quickly, talk about Blue Planet Foundation. It's your nonprofit.
Yeah, so I had a near-death experience in 2005, found my mission in life. Mission is to end the use of carbon-based fuel. Living in Hawaii at the time, I said, we're going to end the use of carbon-based fuel in Hawaii. And we put Hawaii on track for...
We have about 10 seconds left. We're going to actually continue this conversation on our Instagram, because I want to hear all about it. Thank you so much.